my channel. It's your girl AB Special as usual. Yeah, so if this is the first time you're seeing this face on your screen, thank you for clicking. Please consider subscribing, and if you're a returnee, thank you very much. I really appreciate you guys are the best. Yeah, so still in the spirit of our 30 days challenge. Yeah, so I hope you guys have been enjoying it so far. I've been posting every day now. Yeah, so if there is any suggestion, drop it down in the comment section and I will see to it, because I also need more video ideas. Yeah, so without wasting much of your time, someone asked me how I ended up in the Philippines. So I'm going to gist you guys. So this is like a story time of how I ended up in the Philippines. Yeah, in case you don't know, I'm a Nigerian, but I'm currently in the Philippines. Yeah, so how I got to Philippines, actually my first intention of coming to this country was to study. Yeah, and how I got to know about it is online. It's not like I knew somebody here already, or it's not like I had a friend or anything. I was just going through my Facebook one day and I saw this study in Philippines, and I read it, and it was kind of, it was kind of okay, the fees and every other thing. But then I was in school, because I was already studying in my country before I came here. I was in Uniport, University of Port Harcourt. Then I think I just finished my pre-degree. I was in my first year, and when I saw this, my mom was like, wow, that's a very good idea to go out, because for those of you that are Nigerians, you know that Port Harcourt is very, very hot. And then, schools, there's a lot of disturbance from all these bad gangs, all these cut boys. You can't walk freely, or you can't wear a certain color of clothes to walk in the campus without you being harassed. That why are you putting on that color if you're a member of so and so or that. Yeah, so because of all these pressures, my mom was like, okay, it would be a nice idea if I should study outside, that she wanted the best for me. And I said, okay, that's cool. I had two options then. I had India and Philippines. The India was actually from somebody I know. She wanted to go and study there, so she brought it to me that, okay, let's go to India and study. What actually stopped me from going to India was the fact that the school was like a boarding school, and they were like, you can't go out of the school premises for any reasons. Everything you need is inside the school compound. You're like, and the good thing about it also is that your hostel fee covers both your feeding. So depending on the kind of hostel you want to stay, then that's the one of India I'm talking about. They were like, they have hostel that you just stay alone. I think that one is more expensive than the one you will share with people. And they also have hostels that has aircon, that have washing machine. That one too is a little more expensive, and it's actually okay because they covered your feeding as well. But why I don't really like it is because as a Nigerian, I might not like their food, and now I'm not allowed to go outside to get what I can eat. Like, that was the discouraging part of it. Every other part of it was good, because we all know that in terms of medicine, Indians are really good in medicine. And I was like, wow, going to study medicine in India is a really good one for me. But when I thought about everything, you're not going out of the campus, you have to stay indoors, you're going out is maybe you're traveling. for holiday or something. But you can't just say, oh, I just want to stroll out. You can't travel, you can't walk around except you're going to church, and the church is inside your school. Like, their rules was much. I don't know if that's how all schools are in India, or that's just that particular school's policy, because they said as foreigners there are some things you don't know about their country, so you don't go against their law, so that's why they don't allow people to go outside. I said, okay, if that's the case. So when I came across this other one on Facebook, I chatted the girl up. It was a lady. When I chatted the number that was there, no, I think I chatted her on Facebook first. It was a lady. I said, oh, that's good. We talked for a while and she told me everything involved. Okay, at first when I even chatted her, she was like, she thought I was not serious. So she told me, before you can answer, you get your international passport first and all that. And I was like, I have my international passport already. Just tell me things I need to know, like what are the procedures. So she explained everything, that okay, they will need your data page, your WAEC results for processing the admission and all that. I was like, okay, what's the cost? She told me, and she was like, you have to pay half of it before I run the admission, and after running the admission you can pay up the balance. I was like, okay. I told my mom about it. My mom was kind of scared, because this is somebody we don't know from Adams. We don't know this person anywhere. I only just saw a post on Facebook and I decided to chat the person. You know, it was like a risk you're taking, sending money to somebody you don't know. Even if anything should go wrong, you don't know who to hold. Like, you don't know a friend that is related to this person. But along the line, my mom was like, it's okay, let's give it a try. That in life, we have to take a risk too sometimes if we want to be successful. And I said, okay, no problem, let's try. Since we are not paying everything at once, let's pay the half and see if it's real or fake. Because, you know, as a Nigerian, we are scared of a lot of things, because most people now use the internet in a wrong way. So I sent the money to her. She did the admission. I think it took like 1 week or so. She sent me a picture of it that she was done, so I should send her balance so she can send me my admission later. I was like, okay. At some point, some people were like, are you sure this picture she sent to you was not edited? I was like, but this is my name on it, and this is a stamp. When you see an edited document, you will know. And when you see something that somebody snapped with a phone, you will know. I was like, this thing doesn't look edited. If maybe she had said, oh, send your email, let me send to you, then it's now like a scanned document. I can say, oh, maybe it was fake. But for the fact that it was her phone she used to take the picture, it was like really clear that it was a phone picture. I was like, okay, it's real. I sent the money and she sent it to Nigeria. So after I got my admission letter, I now head to Abuja for my visa. I went to Abuja for my visa, and then I don't know what was happening between Nigeria and Philippines. The visa was taking a long time. Normal, other people that goes there said, oh, it takes a week and your visa is out. But mine was 2 months. I was still waiting for email or text message from the embassy. 2 good months I was waiting. At some point I lost hope. I was like, man, this thing is not going to work. Even as I was running around trying to prepare for my trip to Philippines, I was still in school, because you don't want to drop and say, oh, since I have admission later already to go and study outside, then I should not go to school again. I was still going to school while I was still struggling to get my visa on the other hand. So after 2 months, going to 3 months, I later got an email from the embassy saying that they need a new admission letter from a school in Philippines. I was like, but I already submitted one already. And they were like, it's been months already, so I need a new one. I was like, really? So I have to go through paying another money for another letter. I thought, okay, it was okay, the girl was going to do it for me, you know. That was how I called her. She was not like she can't do anything about it, that I will have to pay for another later. And to worsen everything, because I had, like, they gave me time to submit the new letter, or else I should forget about my application. Like, both the money I paid for my visa has gone. So if I should bring it late, I have to pay another money again. I was now begging this girl that please help me and do the second letter. Let you know, when you paid one money before, you don't want it to waste. You're ready to pay another one. That was that she said no, that schools are on holiday, that she wants to go on vacation. She don't have the strength to be running for admission for somebody and all that. I begged this guy. I even had to search her Facebook page, went to look for her boyfriend. I chatted her boyfriend to help me beg her, let her do a new letter for me. This girl still refused. So, to cut the long story short, there was this guy I met at the embassy when I submitted the first letter. The guy actually helped me, and so we exchanged contacts, and normal, we talk to each other, how far have they called you and all that. So that day he called and he was like, how far have they given you your visa? I said no, that they said I should bring a new letter. He said him too, they told him to bring a new letter. I was like, oh, okay, since it's not only me. I felt relieved at that point. But now the problem is, how do I get the new letter within the time range that was given to me? I now told him what was happening, that the girl that did my admission said that she traveled for holiday, that she can't do a new letter for me, that I will have to wait. And me waiting means the money I paid for my application has gone. I will have to pay again when next I'm going to submit. That was how he said, I should not worry, that his brother is in the country, that it's his brother that did his own admission, so he's going to talk to his brother on my behalf. I was like, wow, thank you very much. So I was expecting to pay the same amount I paid for the first letter, but God being so kind, this guy charged me just 50,000 naira to do a new letter for me. That girl charged me times 4 off. This guy just collected 50,000 naira to do it for me, and I was surprised. I was like, are you sure this guy knows what he's doing? This same letter that this girl collect 400,000 for is what one person is collecting 50,000 for. I said, okay, let's give it a try. Since it's 50,000, I can risk it. I did not even tell my mom this one, because I know she will be tired of sending money. I had to use my own money. I sent it to this guy, and 3 days later, he told me that he has sent it already, that she'll be expecting it maybe in the next 3 or 4 days. I was like, so fast. And that girl's own, she took like 1 week before it was ready, but this one within 3 days it was ready already. I was like, wow, that's cool. And after everything, I submitted to the embassy, and a week later I got my visa. A month later I came to the Philippines. Yeah, so that is it. If you want to hear more stories, you can drop your questions down and I'm gonna gist you. My next video is going to be live in Philippines. Stay tuned.